What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. It's been, when I just checked, about 6 months since my last upload, and that's because I've been super busy. I'm currently a full-time student and still working full-time at the dealership, so I haven't really had time to make any videos, and I really haven't done anything to either of the trucks. On this Sunday night, we got lucky. It's actually 57 degrees out here, the warmest it's been all winter. And I figured now would be a great time to go ahead and switch out my rear differential fluid on my 6.7. I can tell by the fact that the rear diff cover has silicone on it holding it, the seal, instead of the factory little gasket, that it has at least been changed at one point. But being that I don't know when, I'm going to go ahead and change it out, just like I do all my other fluids on the truck for peace of mind, so I can keep track of when everything's been getting changed out. Also, I assume a lot of you guys are watching this video because you want to change your rear diff oil out yourself and save a little money compared to going to the dealership. So a little tip for you guys, I'm going to be using 75 weight 140 full synthetic gear oil from Valvoline, which is the oil that my owner's manual said to use for mine being an F250 in particular. And this oil here is like $21 at any auto parts store that I could find. But if you actually go to Walmart, they sell this exact same fluid as the parts stores for only $15. So by the time you buy 4 quarts, because you're going to need 3.5 quarts is what this is supposed to take. So you're going to have to buy the 4. So that's going to save you 20 bucks right there. And I'm going to be using this Permatex black gasket maker here, and this is like $12 everywhere I look online, and I think I got this for like $7 at Walmart. So if you guys are looking to save some money doing this yourself, you might as well do what I did and save yourself another $25-ish. If you look here on the front of the axle, you'll see this little slot right here where you can fit a ratchet with an extension on it. And that's going to be your fill port. And I always like to do these first. I always like to pull these out first. That way I know I can get my new fluid in without a question, instead of risking dropping my pan, having no axle oil. And if I can't get this out, I can't drive the truck because I won't have any fluid in there. So I like to go ahead here and pop this out. I'm probably going to have to set the camera down to do this two-handed. Once I set the camera down and used 2 hands, I was able to break this free pretty easily. So now I'm just going to go ahead and spin this one all the way out, and then we can get to going after them bolts on the cover. And once it's broke free, go ahead and switch to the impact and spin it the rest of the way out. So luckily, all but one of those bolts came out very easily, and we got this nice little metal ring here that we could just take off and set to the side. That's kind of different than the older trucks I've owned. But now this is going to be ready to come off, and to remove it, I'm just going to go ahead and use a putty knife and a hammer and carefully go between the mating surface here and chip away at it and remove it like that. I have no idea why, but my camera keeps randomly shutting off while I'm filming. But as you can see, this fluid is super murky and nasty. And right here, I noticed, looks like that's the breather for the axle, and the tube is nowhere to be seen. And that's the same thing that happened on my green truck. So I guess that's something I'm gonna have to look out for, because that's definitely not good for it. But you know, I don't know if this is just old fluid. I'm sure that is leaking. I'll have to figure that out here after I get this all drained the rest of the way. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe this is just old gear oil. I'll have to see when it's all in that pan, because when I did it on the green one, it was like way lighter than this. So maybe it's just minimal water. I'm not sure. But anyway, let me get a screwdriver and try to pop this off the rest of the way. While I'm at it, I might as well try to clean this thing out. Yep, that's definitely a breather. Guess it's not as bad as it could be. The green truck was definitely much worse. Definitely pretty dark. Let's see if you guys can actually see it. There she is. When I got lucky, it looks like it's not that bad, but sometimes you're gonna have to do a lot of scraping with a razor blade to clean this mating surface when gasket material stays there. I don't know if it's been on there too long or too short or what the deal is, but sometimes there is a ton of that old adhesive on there. By the way, the stuff smells amazing. Just when you think the smell of old gear oil can't get any better, you mix in that high VOC content of brake clean and it just gets even better. And this one here is only going to take me a minute to clean. All I'm worried about is letting it drain enough so that bottom is nice and clean there, so that way I don't have to worry about not getting a good seal. But sometimes, and if yours has never been changed or hasn't been changed in a while, you can expect this to take quite a long time to clean when that stuff's stuck on there everywhere. And now you'll notice I'm not covering my gears. If I had a big chunk or something of RTV from up here fall into my gears, I'd make sure to get it out. But brake clean on that's not going to hurt anything. And in the case of me having this old dirty fluid in here, I actually want to get brake clean in there to rinse some of that out. That way I have as much, because this will just air dissolve, so you don't have to worry about diluting it down at this. I'm just looking to get a nice clean surface as well as get the most possible of that old dirty fluid out. Now I'm going to show you here in a second when I'm done how mine looks. And you want to get a nice bead on there like what I have, but don't go too hog wild on it, and don't tighten it too much when you first put the part on, because then you'll have it oozing into where your gear is, and you don't want that. Okay. So here it is, nice and even around all the bullet holes. Okay. Get them snug and then set a timer on my phone for an hour while I probably clean up some of this mess and put tools away that I don't need anymore. And then I'll get the torque wrench out and torque them to spec. Luckily, taking these out by hand, and the fact that this truck doesn't have much rust, unless I can't tell if the camera's picking it up, but my exhaust is starting to kind of look a little crappy. It's still fine for probably many years to come, but it doesn't really look the best. And the fifth wheel hitches under here, all the parts of that are kind of super rusty, but the rest of the truck's actually pretty clean. So luckily, all the bolts still come out nice. Now, after waiting for exactly an hour, I'm gonna go ahead and torque these down to approximately 33 foot-pounds with just a simple Craftsman torque wrench I got. I'm gonna go ahead and actually torque this down in a cross pattern just like you would car lug nuts. Third one. Now I've went ahead and gone back around it all the way in a circular pattern just to double check, and I've confirmed these are all at 33 foot-pounds. So I've gone ahead and let this dry for about another 2 or 3 hours after doing the 1 hour wait and then torqued it down. So I'm hoping it's going to be dry enough where I could throw my fluid in, because tomorrow morning is going to be 25 degrees and I don't want to be messing with that before I have to leave and go to work. But anyway, I had a piece of hose I found above the workbench left over from when I was working on my green truck, so it fit the same. After I cleaned up that fitting, I don't have a radiator clamp yet. I got to run to the store tomorrow, but for now, I went ahead and just took some hay bale wire and wrapped it on there tight and snipped it. And it's so hard to push on, I'd be willing to bet that it wouldn't fall off anyway, but just for added security, I threw that on there. And then I ran it up over. This is where you can see that really rusty mount for the fifth wheel. I don't know if that's, maybe he bought it used and put it on, or if it's just crappy powder coat, but you can see, like, compared to that bad rail, that is so much more rusty. But anyway, that runs up over there and up by them brake lines, so that'll keep water from getting in there like it did before. Like I said, I guess I'm just gonna have to be more careful about that, being that both my trucks had them missing and I didn't even realize. I'm gonna go ahead and fill my new fluid into that port. So you'll know it's full when it starts running out like that. Right at the 3.5 quart mark, it started to do that. And I went ahead and had to clean off the end of this. It's actually magnetic, I think, and it holds all the gunk on there from your axle wearing out over time. Yeah, it's magnetic. I could feel it pulling. But I went ahead and threw a little Teflon tape on there after cleaning the magnet up. And now I'm going to go ahead and spin this in and then tighten it down. Just tighten it down with the hand wrench. And I'm not looking to go crazy here. I'm pretty sure you torque these to 33 foot-pounds, but I already put my torque wrench away, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it till it's snug and call it a day. And we'll call that good. And it's as easy as that. I did this myself in about an hour or less of actual working time. And that includes messing around trying to get good angles with the camera and finding all my tools and all that. So there's a good chance if I wasn't doing that, I could probably have done this in half an hour, 45 minutes total working time, other than obviously waiting for stuff to dry. So with that being said, hopefully this helps someone out looking to service their differential and save a little money compared to going to the dealership. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.